What's up YouTube, it's Cyberfelon, and today I have my True King Dinosaur deck profile for you guys. This deck is still very powerful, very fun to play, and can still compete with the meta. So without further ado, let's get into the profile and show you guys how this is built. Alright, so to start things off, we have two Ultimate Conductor Tyrannos. He is your main boss monster of the deck, 3500 attack, 3200 defense, very hard to actually get over him in battle. I don't think anything can actually compete with his stat line right now in the meta, but he's very easy to summon, just simply banishing two dinosaur type monsters from your graveyard. You can special summon them from your hand. You have to do this first before you can special summon him by any other way, as well as he's got the amazing effect to be able to Book of Moon all your opponent's monsters simply by destroying one monster you control or in your hand, and that effect can very easily combo off with your baby dinosaurs that I'll show you later in the deck profile. But he is your main boss monster, your secondary boss monster, or probably even your third boss monster, I'm not sure, because some of your extra deck monsters are actually a lot more powerful than him. But Overtext Coatlus is a very powerful card to have in the deck. You play him at 2, you really don't want to play him at anymore because you don't want to brick with him, because he can only be special summoned by shuffling back 5 dinosaur type monsters from your banish zone into your deck. This is a very powerful effect. You don't get it off too often, but it is a very powerful effect because you're able to go ahead and recover cards like your banished baby dinosaurs, your Miscellaneousaurus, and other cards like that to be able to reuse them again. But most of the time you're going to be summoning him through the effect of Double Evolution Pill, which when he is sent to the graveyard by any means, you are able to search one evolution pill from your deck and add it to your hand. So he is the main way to search your evolution pills, as well as that's the main way you're going to be special summoning him from your deck to the field. Also, he has the very powerful card effect, or very powerful effect of being able to negate a spell or trap effect once per turn by destroying one other monster you control or in your hand. This is one thing that the deck was missing a lot on, because they did suffer from battle traps like mirror forces and stuff like that. They were very susceptible to that, even a Dark Hole and Regeki. So this offers the protection the deck has been needing against cards like that. So he's definitely a 2-of, definitely a very powerful card to have. Also, you play 3 copies of Soul Eating Oviraptor. He is your main searcher of the deck outside of Fossil Dig. Being able to special summon him off of your baby dinosaurs, and then being able to continue searching for another baby or just another combo piece is very powerful. That's on his normal or special summon. And then once per turn, you're able to also go ahead and destroy one level 4 or lower dinosaur type monster on the field, and then special summon another dinosaur type monster from your graveyard. So if you manage to special summon your Ultimate Conductor Tyranno properly by banishing 2 monsters, then you can always revive him using Soul Eating Oviraptor after you've destroyed a baby, another level 4, or even a token special summoned by Lost World to your opponent's side of the field. So that's a very powerful effect, definitely something you will use quite frequently in the duel, being able to destroy your baby and then just continually generating advantage off of that. Then you do play the 1-of Miscellaneousaurus. It's unfortunate that this card is still at 1. This is a very powerful card for the deck, offering protection for all your dinosaur type monsters during your opponent's turn, during your turn, just by simply discarding him from your hand to the graveyard, as well as being able to banish itself along with a number of dinosaur type monsters in order to special summon another dinosaur type monster from your deck equal to the number, or whose level is equal to the number of dinosaur type monsters that were banished. So you can easily banish him for level 1, or him with 3 others for a level 4 like Oviraptor. It's a very powerful card and definitely helps extend your combos as well as protect your dinosaurs. Then another 1-of that you play is Giant Rex. You mostly play him as a 1-of because you don't really want to see him in your hand too much. Mostly you want to get him into the grave as fast as possible and then banish him off of either Double Evolution Pill or off of Ultimate Conductor Tyranno summon ability or special summon, so that way you can get him back to the field and then he's just a big beat stick. Then of course another 1-of is Megalo Smasher X. He's mostly here as a water target for your water True King, as well as just being a big beat stick, as well as being able to be protected by Lost World. Just summoning him with Lost World on the field offers a lot of protection and allows you to go off during your opponent's turn by protecting him and destroying a baby. Which, as I've mentioned multiple times already, you are playing your baby Ceratosaurus. Baby Ceratosaurus is the heart and soul of your deck. Literally, without baby Ceratosaurus, as well as your two petite Pteranodons, the deck really wouldn't function. I'm just going to be completely honest. Without these 5 cards, the deck wouldn't function as well as it does. These cards are just the main card you're going to be abusing because both of them have the same effect of when they are destroyed, you can special summon a dinosaur type monster from your deck. Baby Ceratosaurus is level 4 and below, while Petite Pteranodon is level 4 and higher. So most of the time you're going to end up using this effect in combination with Draconic Diagram, being able to destroy Baby Ceratosaurus to be able to, or Petite Pteranodon to be able to special summon your Oviraptor and then just continue on from there. The one thing you do have to make sure you remember with Petite Pteranodon is that you can't attack with the monster that you special summon. But other than that, these cards are here for your combo plays, for your extensions. They're the cards that you want to abuse. Then your last baby is Jurok Aolo. He's here for your synchro plays to go into Trishula, go into Armades, pretty much whatever card you have in your extra deck for a synchro summon. Using Trishula, you're able to rip your cards out of your opponent's hand and then go off into True King Calamities if you have the True King on board. And as I mentioned with the True Kings, you are playing 3 copies of True King Agnimazad the Vanisher. He is the main card you want to play because you do play more fires than you do waters in the deck. Most of the time you want to have him and then another either himself or the water True King Brashtos in hand, so that way you can special summon another True King, or so that way you just have the extra fire target and you can go off with your other cards as well. Most of the time you want to destroy one of your babies off of him. He also has the other effect when you destroy 2 fire type monsters to be able to banish one monster your opponent controls. You almost never get that effect off, but on occasion you do get it off. It is very powerful. Then you also have your True King Brashtos the Fathomer. He is your water True King target. You almost never summon him off of his special summon ability. Most of the time he's here to be destroyed either by Draconic Diagram or by True King Agnimazad, because you want to destroy him so that way you can get his ability to special summon another True King from your deck to the field. That ability allows you to go into your True King of all Calamities and it just makes it a lot easier. You do only play 2 of them. I have been thinking of bumping them up to 3, but I feel 3 is just a little too bricky and you really don't want to see more than 1 of him in hand. Then, no deck is complete this format without hand traps, and I play 3 Ghost Ogres. Ghost Ogre is pretty much one of the most powerful hand traps right now in this format because it is able to do so much for so little. Just simply discarding him allows you to just destroy any activated spell or trap card, as well as destroy any monster on the field. They still do get their effects off, the monsters mostly, not the spells and traps, but removing it from the field is a very, very powerful thing. And then of course the last 2 hand traps are Effect Veiler. Effect Veiler is a very powerful card that can be used during your opponent's turn to negate any monster effect. The one thing that I always forget is that it's only allowed to be used during your opponent's main phase. So when you are using him, always try to remember that. If you don't feel like playing him, play Infinite Transience, or whatever they're calling it now, the new trap card from Flames of Destruction. It is definitely a very powerful Effect Veiler alternative. It's just Effect Veiler is the cheaper and better version. Alright, now on to the spells and traps. You do play 1 copy of Draconic Diagram. Unfortunately, I only own 1 copy of Diagram, so I can't play more than 1. But if you do own more than 1, definitely play more than 1. If you can, play 3. It is the heart and soul of your deck. It's part of the heart and soul of your deck because this combos off extremely well with your baby dinosaurs, being able to destroy 1 monster you control or 1 card you control or in your hand allows you to go ahead and search out one of your true kings. This comboing off with your baby, destroying the baby, you can easily bring out True King of all calamities, and that is the main combo you want to go for most of the time in your deck. The other field spell you play is Lost World, being able to weaken all non-dinosaur type monsters by 500 attack and defense, as well as offering protection to all your dinosaur type monsters. Whenever you summon a dinosaur type monster to the field, you get to special summon a token to your opponent's side of the field, and as long as they control that token, they can't target any of your dinosaur type monsters with card effects. So it's pretty powerful, but the drawback is that you are giving your opponent a monster, and most of the time they will try to get rid of that token by linking it away or using it for some sort of summon, but most of the time they do have to waste resources either getting rid of the token or getting rid of Lost World. So it does have its ups, it also has its downs. It's definitely a one of. You don't really want to play more than that because you really don't want to see it in hand. You mostly want to see Draconic Diagram. Now, to be able to see these two field spells as soon as possible, as well as to bait out some of your opponent's hand traps, you want to play 3 copies of Terraforming. Terraforming is a very powerful search spell, and really what else is there to say about it? The next card you're playing 3 of is Fossil Dig, being able to search out pretty much every card in your deck except for your boss monsters, but we can leave that job to Oviraptor. This card is very powerful because whatever card you need for your combos, you have quick access to it. Pretty much acts as a 4th, 5th, and 6th copy of any dinosaur type monster in your deck. Easy access to your babies, easy access to Oviraptor. The next card that allows you easy access to your boss monsters is Double Evolution Pill. Double Evolution Pill is a very quick way to get to your Ultimate Conductor Tyranno or even your Overtext Coatlas simply by banishing 1 dinosaur type and 1 non-dinosaur type monster from your hand or graveyard. You can special summon either of them from your hand or deck. And this is very easy, very powerful way to get to these guys, especially after you've gone into your True King of all calamities. You're just adding more pressure on the board, and it can easily result in OTKs. And the last spell, but definitely not the least, 1 copy of Monster Reborn. Being able to special summon any monster from either player's graveyard is still so powerful. Being able to revive an Ultimate Conductor Tyranno that's been destroyed earlier in the turn. What can I say? Monster Reborn is such a powerful card, and I'm so glad to see it back in the game. Now onto the trap cards. You do run 2 copies of Anti-Spell Fragrance, mostly because Pendulum Magicians are annoying as hell, and because Anti-Spell Fragrance is a very powerful and very oppressive card. Once you've managed to make your first turn board, flipping this on your opponent's standby phase, it really adds more pressure to the board, as well as it really slows the game down and prevents your opponent from answering your board on their first turn. And the last, but again, definitely not the least trap, is 1 copy of Solemn Judgment, or as I like to say, the no button. Paying half your life points, this card is always live. Being able to negate the activation of a spell, trap, or summon of a monster is still extremely powerful. And again, I am glad to see this card is back in the game. It is such a powerful card and is so needed in the game. But that's it for the spells and traps. Next up, we'll go into the extra deck. Now for the extra deck, we have the 1 True King of all calamities. He is the main card that you want to go into in your extra deck, basically being a skill drain on steroids, stopping your opponent from activating all effects of monsters of a declared attribute by simply detaching 1 Xyz material. This is able to stop all monsters on the field, as well as cards in their hand and graveyard, and I believe the extra deck, from activating their effects. So if you simply detach Call Dark, you shut down your opponent's Pendulum Magicians, and they basically just can't play. Also being able to change all the attributes of cards on the field to say fire. You can also tribute your opponent's monsters for the True King summon of, say, True King Agnimazot. It's not often that you actually do that effect, but if you are able to go ahead and use that, you're able to easily clear your opponent's board of powerful boss monsters for free. So that's one of the main reasons you play him, is his basically skill drain on crack. You do play 2 copies of Yugioh Lagia. 1 copy is fine if you're able to only play 1, but he's definitely a very powerful card, being able to negate a spell, trap, or the normal or special summon of a monster. It's very powerful, very good negation, and it's pretty much like you're running 2 more Solemn Judgments. Then of course you have your 1 copy of Dinosaur Dolka. Being a monster effect negator is a very powerful thing, and also one thing that a lot of people don't realize is that you can use his effect more than once per turn. So you can easily negate 2 monster effects in the same turn, unlike Dinosaur Lagia, which can only be used once per turn, or can only be used once because you have to detach 2 materials. He can actually be used more than once because he detaches only 1 material. So he's definitely a great one-of in the deck. You really don't want to play more than that. Then probably the best rank 4 in the game at the moment, but best generic one at least, number 41 Baguska. Very powerful card. Again, another skill drain, preventing all your opponent's monster effects from activating, switching everything into defense mode while he's in defense mode, as well as being pretty much indestructible, untargetable while he's in attack position. He's a very powerful card. Most of the time you want him in defense mode to be able to use the skill drain effect. If you don't manage to open well, and it's very rare that you don't open well, it's easy just to go ahead and go into Baguska and just sit on him. Then of course another powerful staple rank 4 is Castel. He has lost a little bit of power thanks to Master Rule 4, because most of the time you want to free up your extra monster zone, and Castel kind of just sits there after he uses effect to bounce a card back to your opponent's deck. But he's still a very powerful rank 4, but I do favor Diamond Direwolf now more because of Master Rule 4. You can easily get rid of Direwolf as well as one other card your opponent controls, and you're able to clear out your extra monster zone. So that's why I prefer Direwolf more than Castel, but they're still both very powerful rank 4s. Also, you do play 1 Gaga Samurai, mostly just to add more damage to the field, go for an OTK. 1 Abyss Dweller. There aren't too many decks that rely on the graveyard as much as in previous formats, but it is still a very powerful card, especially in the mirror match against ADCs. There are still a few decks that run around that do rely on the graveyard, so Abyss Dweller is always that 1 spicy tech in your extra deck that you want to have. Then for your synchros, we do have the 1 Trishula Dragon of the Ice Barrier, very powerful level 9 synchro that allows you to go ahead and banish 1 card from your opponent's hand, field, and graveyard. Each of these is optional. You do not have to activate all 3 in order to be able to get his effect off. It is just you can activate 1 or the other since there's 3 of them. So it's very easy removal, very non-targeting, non-destruction removal, as well as he's here for your rank 9 plays to go into your True King of All Calamities. Then you have 1 copy of Cloud Castle. This is a very, very spicy tech in my opinion, because if you've linked away, say, one of your True Kings, you can always go into Cloud Castle and revive it, and then go for your rank 9 plays. That's the only reason really he's here, is for your rank 9 plays and to be able to do that combo. Then you have the 1 Armades Keeper of the Boundaries, mostly here just to be able to attack freely without having to worry about your opponent's back rows. Pretty much, yeah, that's pretty much all he's here for, just being able to attack without any worry. Then for the Link monsters, you do play 1 Underclock Taker, being able to weaken your opponent's monsters equal to whatever the attack this monster is pointing to, or what the attack of the monster this card is pointing to, is very powerful. Being able to reduce a monster by 3,500 and then swing for 3,500 with Ultimate Conductor is freaking insane in my opinion. He's a very easy, very generic Link 2 to go into. He's not that strong, but when you have Ultimate Conductor backing you up, really, there's nothing to fear. Then you do have the 1 copy of Mrs. Radiant. You can go into this monster very easily since most of the deck is Earth attribute. It also buffs all your Earth monsters by 500 attack, and it's easy to go ahead and recover any Earth monster when this card is destroyed. Then the last but not least, your 1 Saryuja Scaldred. The deck doesn't have much draw power, but it does search like crazy, but Saryuja is able to go ahead and help you fix your hands by drawing 4 and returning 3 cards if you manage to get his 4th effect or 3rd effect off by using 4 different names. But you don't always have to use that in order to maximize off of Yugioh. Simply just the extra special summon off of his 2nd effect is very powerful in its own right. And then the 1st effect of buffing all of your monsters by 300 attack and defense, it's unnecessary because the deck is already very powerful and has very high attack. So the main thing is you're using him for his 3rd and his 4th effect. It's not often that you do summon him, but when you do, most of the time you will be winning the game. But that's it for today, YouTube. I hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile. As always, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as feel free to leave down in the comments below any way you feel you could improve the deck, any spicy text you might have that you would add. And until next time, later guys.